Thank you very much. Can we start?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Yeah. Thank you. As usual, त्रैलोक्य संपदा लेखाय सम्मूलेखन वित्तये सच्चिदानंद रूपाय शिवाय. Morning and happy morning to one and all present in this particular August gathering. Indeed, it gives me an immense pleasure to just talk about me as requested by the Human Library, Ms. Pratibha Jagtap. Thank you so much. I'm not so great man or this, but certainly I did some kind of academic work in my life, and it is as Mr. Rao has said, if I'm right, you are Rao. So, with 25 years of experience, somehow it has reached to 25. I don't know how it has reached to 25, but now I'm able to see it is 25. Yeah. Thank you. So, let me go back to my childhood and start with my journey to, as he said, I'll come back to that. As I'm very excited to talk about all these things, because whenever I do talk to the student, whenever I do talk to my kids of anybody, whenever I go to my native or any place, they'll tell me, sir, can you just talk to our kids and motivate them to have this. Before going to that, my story, I hope Professor Rekha Suganti is also listening. I hope, and few of my people also there. I hope so. I think
Absolutely.
I assume Professor Rekha Suganti is also there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't give me attendance today, ADT. You are there. Okay. So I just tell you one thing before going to my story, because it was the year 1988 when I was passed out my 10th standard. I can even tell my registration number for the examination. 136448 was my number, and it was March 1988. Having said around 8 high school together, we wrote the exam on the roof where the the whole sun or whole water used to come inside, and that kind of roof was there. It was something hard, and we wrote exam. That time I got some class, and then I came back. Having said it was, they told me I'm the first to the whole center in that particular time. Anyway, so that motivated me to ensure in my native. That time my native population was about 5,000 plus. So I requested most of the great people, because we were the priest of, basically happens to be the kind of that work. I'll come back to that. So I just decided to tell everybody, why can't you come for the education? Why can't you send for education of your kids and this? That was the one step I took in my village. And today I'm proud to tell you all that in my village, 1,300 engineers are there. Recently, when I went there, whenever I go, they will give me the updation of engineers, doctors, and lawyers and army. There are about nearly 750 people who are in army, about 1,300 are engineers, about almost about 150 people are doctors, and this was a reality where I did small work to my village. Whenever I go, they have that proud and that respect is there with me. Thanks for that. I want to tell that that's what I exactly excited to tell you all that, because when I go, people line up and come to me. They saying that, sir, they talk to my kid, this, that. That was a major thing which I did in my life. Okay. So go back to my childhood story, Pratibha. If you don't mind, I could just give only for 5 minutes, not more than that.
We are eager to, so you have freedom to share everything on the
I'm very excited to tell. I'm sorry to tell, I born and brought up in a very poor family, and my dad was a priest to the temple, and I do continue that, what you call the priest job for 15 years in my life. 15 years I used to do puja for 3 temples. Audience don't think something differently, but what was happened to my life, I was just, because he told me that tell about your story. So it was when I was nearly 5 year or 6 year old, I started working with my dad. My family is a background of my grandfather was a great human who was the secretary to the British government those days, and he used to work for that. He never took care of my dad, and dad was alone for my grandfather, and mom was having a bigger number in her side family. So I happens to be having 4 sisters and 4 brothers with me. And having said, there was a land with us, but my dad used to do the the village job of a priest, so we were unable to get the good things on that. And I used to see the kind of pain with my dad, and I used to work 24/7. After my 7th year of my life, I started working 24/7 with my dad. Wherever he used to go, I used to go. When I still remember when I literally went to the school only by 3rd standard. I never even saw the school 1st grade, 2nd standard. When I went to 3rd standard, I was unable to read anything. And my dad used to ask me to get up by really 4 a.m. in the morning. And he used to take study and used to teach me on that. I do not know how many times he used to hit me and how many times I used to get the good things on that. I still remember those books, Kannada books, which I used to learn. And if I started going to the school by 3rd standard, but where the roof of the school was not found, it was something different, but and I used to teach because that was kind of village structure, those days. My village was not having those time the roads or even the supply of electricity or even whatever the today fundamental things were there, it is not found. And today we can call my village is a smart village. Government of Karnataka has awarded as well. So that's fine. So that's how I started, and every day I used to get up for that, and I used to go to the temple. I used to do the job in the temple, and after that come back to house and go to the well, take bath in the well, and it may be a 5:30 or early morning, whether it is a cool or this or that, I used to take and then come to the temple, and I used to do puja, all the 3 temples. Once after completing the puja of the temple, I used to go to the land to get the milk. So we had some buffaloes and cows at the land, and my brother used to work for those, and then he used to give me one hand. I used to have a 5 liter, another hand used to have 5 liters, like that, 10 liters of what the milk I used to bring. Those days, I still remember my mom used to sell the milk with 1 rupee of liter. So she was not educated, but my dad was educated with the 7th standard. He was even, in fact, given school teacher job in the government, but the villagers were not allowed to my dad to work because he was a priest on that. So having that, and after this, and I used to go to the temple, whether mom is giving me the food, because I used to see my brothers and sisters, whether they must have the food even if I'm not having. This is how I used to do. And during my 1985, when I was this 7th standard, I stood first. I still remember it was about 600 mark, out of which I scored about 595 mark for 7th standard, and my teacher gave me 50 rupees. What do you call that? Prize on those days. That 50 rupees I brought all the way to my house, and I gave to my mom. It was a Sarkari school, the government school. My dad started crying, "Beta, you are having so nice knowledge, but I'm unable to give you the good." I told him, this is the best education that you don't have to worry. So 7th standard, after that, having all these hurdles, I was working. And then every day I used to, after coming from the school, I used to go to the land. Land was 2 kilometers from my native. So all these my dad used to see and used to say, what a kind of, but he used to tell, "Beta, one day you become really great man." That I surely believe on that. Then after my 7th standard, I supposed to go to the high school. My brother told, "You have to study, even daddy is going to say no to you." But dad never said no to me. But I was just thinking whether what to do, because my brothers and others all are getting trouble. If I work for them, I think better. But my mom told, "No, beta, I will take care. You better go to the school." The high school was about 8 kilometers from the native. but there was no cycle, there was no road proper, there was no bus, nothing. And then my mom told, no, nothing doing, but you have to go. Then I started in 1985 when I took admission to 8th standard. It was a different era in my life. I just decided I should not disturb any of my mom and dad's routine, but I have to study. So having all this work I used to do, and after that 11:15 a.m. I supposed to be there in the high school, which is 6 kilometers away from my native, 8 kilometers from my the land. So I used to do every day. I used to go to the land. So including it is 8 kilometers. So what happened? I was a good singer those days. I was a very good singer in the Kannada. I do have the piano. I know piano. I know the tabla. I know other kind of, because my dad was a great musician and he got an award of Karnataka Ratna Janapada Award as well. So because of these, I got a role. I mean, he was my role model those days, and I have become all those. Then by seeing they used to have this singing competition, other things in case of in the school level, at the high school level. They made me as I must sing the prayer every day by 11:15 a.m. Then only the school has to start. So after having all this, I used to go to the high school and compulsory. I used to be there by 11:15 a.m. I used to sing a song with all the kids sing. They used to sing with me. The speaker. This is how the journey started. And again, I took first in the 8th standard. Still, I remember, Pratibha, my mark was out of 600, 584 mark was there. So again, they gave me 50 rupees. So I took my dad. That time, I told Daddy, today I'm not able to walk to the school. What happened? He asked me. I was in the athletics. So I did, Daddy, 1500 meter, 800 meter, and 400 meter, and 200. Even 100 meter, I am the first person. So today my legs are paining very badly. It was 8th standard during, I'm telling you people, 1985 to 86. So Daddy told, beta, how to go. Then he took somebody's bullock cart, and then he took me to the high school till I remember. Then when I went to the school, they told, your son is great and he has got an award of 50 rupees. My dad again started crying, what kind of situation is giving by the Lord. That because that again high school was a government high school. So having all this completed, went on. But always I used to make my brothers and sisters to study. Even if they are not studying, I used to make them to study. I used to wake up them. I used to feed them. I used to take care like parents, how they used to do that. So like that, my journey started in 1988. March, I completed my 10th standard and stood out of 8 high school. I was the first to the high school. The chairman of the high school total union, I think he's not no more. He might have, he was there maybe about 10 plus years those days. So he told, beta, you might be going to be the great man or this or that, something he used to tell. One thing I have not told the people, when I was in the 3rd standard, the teacher asked me, I still remember his name, Mr. Mahadev. He asked all the kids of our class, where about 22 students were there. And he asked to write, what is your life aim of your life? In that particular time, I wrote in Kannada, I want to become a scientist. I want to be an IAS officer. So that how I wrote that, because in my village, those days, one of our villager happens to be an IAS officer. I used to go to his house, even though they never used to tell me properly, but I used to go because I used to listen to the people a lot of time. So this is how the journey started. And 1988, when I completed my 10th standard, my dad told, now what you are going to do. Everybody of my friends who are in the class of 10th standard, 120 students were there. I remember all the number. So out of which I was the only person who was not taken admission for anything. I was just waiting. I never told my dad. I was applied for that time diploma. The government polytechnic Bijapur, which happens to be in Karnataka, great district today. So GPT Bijapur I applied, but my dad was not that knowing about all this technically, so I haven't told him. But I told I myself has decided I have to study polytechnic. So applied. I got admission to the polytechnic in the month of August, 2nd week in 1988. I took my dad to have the admission over there. I told my dad, he asked me how much money you require. I told him 185 rupees. They asked me, Dad, if you could give me, I get admission for my diploma. Daddy told, Beta, I'm not having that. What to do? Then I told him, Daddy, if you don't give me, I don't think I get an admission for diploma. Again, my dad asked somebody, I don't know what he has done, and he took, I still remember, he took some Jawar and some hybrid to some taluka place, and then he went. He got about 150 rupees with him, and he gave me 2 rupees. Today it is 80 rupees to go to Bijapur district from my native. Those days it was only 150 paise. So I went to my district place where I went to the polytechnic. I was just waiting my dad. My number came 4 times. Principal was asking me whether you want admission or not. I just cried after the 4th time. When I came out, my dad came, but his face was very bad because, he was not having that 185 rupees. Now, how to do that? Then I came down, Daddy, what happened? I want admission. People are asking me more time. Otherwise, my seat will not come. So somehow my dad told, Beta, I have money, but he never told I'm not having. He said, I have money. Because of that 4th time, what happened? They allocated my electronics and communications seat to somebody, and there was only 2 vacancies in the civil engineering department. Oh my God, what to do? Then I told Daddy, I want to study only politics. Somehow my dad friend came, one Mr. Gowda, and his son was also actually seeking the admission for that. He got an admission for electrical engineering. I still remember, he's no more, my friend is not there. Sangan Gowda, his name was there. So his father, he just asked me, Dad, my dad's name is Vittal, and my mom name is Rukmini, and my name they put as Ramchandra, because 72 kilometers is away from me, Pandharpur. My dad was used to come 75 years continuously by walk to Pandharpur. Somehow they used to have that kind of relation with a god Panduranga. I might have came with my dad at least 20 years by walk to the particular Pandharpur. So that particular Gowda gave to my dad, oh, why you are saying this? I'll give for you. You take this 200. So I literally watching all this, and Daddy took, no, Gowda, you give me only 50 rupees. I require only 30 rupees for getting it. I went to the admission. I was so happy. My face was so good because I got money. I got an admission, and I went inside. They told me, no, only civil engineering is left, beta. You take 1 month. After 1 month, you'll change your branch of particle engineering to electronics. So hoping that, still I remember Dr. V.K. Katti, no more today, the principal, who was great. He was kind enough to give me the electronics branch after 1 month. Then, believe it or not, I also had an income certificate. Daddy brought that income certificate with him. When I went with 185 rupees and income certificate to the admission section, they told me, no, because of your income certificate, your requirement is only 30 rupees for the admission. Believe it or not, 33 years was my fees. I paid 100 rupees fees and stood 4th rank to the government of Karnataka state for the diploma, and completed my diploma with only 100 rupees. The question mark came to my mind is that how to stay in Bijapur. My dad was nothing, what to do. Then I just went to nearby ashram of my village. I asked Swamiji, what I supposed to, I want to study, but I'm not having the capacity. What to do? Kindly, can you help me out? So Swamiji told, I have an ashrama in Bijapur, but you have to work for that ashrama, many kind of activity. Then I can allow you to stay over there, and you may have the food as well. Believe it or not, Swamiji allowed me there, and I won't say what I used to do, but I used to also do the puja over the ashrama. This is how 3 years I spent over there. The ashrama and my polytechnic are about 3.5 kilometers. And those days, the drawing board were very big. I used to carry one hand the drawing board, another hand the cycle. Somebody gave me cycle, that devotees, with about those days, cycle was about 120 rupees. They gave me the cycle. I took that, and also I returned the cycle after completion of my diploma as well. This is how diploma completed. And then Daddy told me, now better you go for the work. I got Kirloskar Mysore, the industry, and I was getting 1,800 rupees. Suddenly, the fees, the salary over there. I was so happy because I'm getting back to the family. Oh, somehow I'm doing something better for my family. Okay. But somebody told me in the Kirloskar company in Mysore, why can't you study? You are very talent guy. Better you go for the engineering. Those days, lateral entry was not there. We have to go for 4 years in Karnataka. Somehow I got an admission. I mean, because I was having good mark, I got an admission to the Basaveshwar Engineering College, Bagalkot, Electronics and Communication again at the government seat. They allocated me the seat from Department of Technical Education, Government of Karnataka. I got a seat and I came back to what do you call the Bagalkot, which is at that time Taluka place under the Bijapur district. Today it is a district place in Karnataka. So I went there. I got an admission for 640 rupees for engineering first year. I completed my whole career in the whole engineering, not more than 5,000 rupees for all the 4 years. Again, the question came here: how to stay in Bagalkot? Again, I went to one of the ashrama. I just asked the Swamiji, Swamiji, I have this passion. I want to study, but my family is not able to support me. But dad is supporting morally, but I can't stay. What to do? So Swamiji told, yes, again, you perform all this particular task and you can have the accreditation and this. Somehow God has helped me. Again, I used to work from that land, and then ashrama. From there, 7 kilometers, my engineering college. Today, it is a new Bagalkot. The entire Bagalkot where I used to stay and all, it is now submerged because of the water, Krishna River, Krishna Dam. So the new Bagalkot established in our engineering college. I used to go from there somehow by walk, somehow by. This is how 4 years of my career completed. 1995, I passed out. Karnataka University, 3rd rank. I was electronics and communication. I came back and I told all this thing to my dad. Daddy told, how can you complete, Ram? How can you do that? We are not having any this thing. Where you are going to stay this? But Daddy used to appreciate after knowing about this. What happened in 1993 when we went to industrial visit to Coimbatore and other places in Trivandrum? I happens to go to VISRO, Vikram Sarabhai Space Research Organization Center at Trivandrum, which is in Kerala. We met Dr. Kalam, who was explaining us the PSLV satellite 1993. That was the day I got totally change in my life. So I saw Dr. Kalam, the way he worked, the way he started, the explain and other kind of activity. I was so happy for all those. And then that was the day impressed by him to me. And then I started working on that particular angle. And somehow my daddy told me, beta, it was my aim and dream. You have to become an IAS officer. So then again, that was my track got changed. Daddy told, no, engineering, where I am going to use. So 1996, I went for the preliminary exams of IAS. I got somehow, by God's grace and parents' blessings, I got through the preliminary. Oh my God, I don't know what I did. I got through this. Then they told me, sir, there is going to be written exam. I neither got any training or this or that. And then somebody told me there was a Nanjundappa college. Better you go to Dharwad, and there is a place, Hubli Dharwad, hopefully you all will be knowing. Those days it was not that, but it is very good now. So I went there, and there was a small center for studying all this competitive exam. Then I went there, then I had that. Believe it or not, I passed the main written exam also, main exam also. Oh, somehow God is helping me. So I was just dreaming, but something is happening. Okay, but I was not a good communicator in English. It was only regional language, very good, even though I had my diploma B, but people used to that, but not that good. I was in the communication. So that happens to be that time fortunate that Devegowda happens to be the Prime Minister of this country, and then S.R. Bommai, who is now today's Bommai, son is the Chief Minister of Karnataka State. He was MSRD Minister. Then I went to one of our gurus, ashramas, and they were having their polytechnic. So they told me, if you are not working also, you be the principal of this polytechnic, you can do some work. So because I wanted to do some other work, I was doing this IAS kind of activity. I thought I can take care of this particular job. So they made me as a polytechnic principal. And because all these people, that particular Swamiji, the one who is having polytechnic, happens to be the guru of this Devegowda, this I hope. So they told me there is a project, better you go to Delhi and talk to them and bring the community polytechnic project. So that was that time community polytechnic project was carrying 37 to 40 lakh rupees, the fund for the polytechnic. So I went there, I went to the MSRD minister cabin. I was very small, it was 96. I went there and I spoke to Murray. Kendriya Minister, Cabinet Minister of MH Charity, then I told sir, I look you as like my dad, so I'm not having other thing. I went to Deve Gowda's cabin of Prime Minister, then I met him, they sanctioned me this 37 lakh rupees of community project. But what was in my mind? Because I passed the main exam, I want to become an IAS officer. You know, it could have been fast to me. I could have asked their recommendation. Never I did anything on that. And somehow I was having a in my mind saying that you can say the garva, you can say somehow, why to ask somebody? I'm a merit-based guy. So I never asked anybody. When I went for this, those days, I don't know how many marks are there for the personality round and all things. Many rounds happen. All this personality round also went very well. They told me you've done good job, this, that. But those that particular year, there were about vacancy of those things, I think not more than 300. My number went somewhere 600 or something. Maybe because of the communication, I think. When I came back to my native, I felt very bad. Oh my God. So somehow that has been stopped and I went out of my Karnataka state and I was, as Mr. Abhishek has told, I worked as a first in the lecturer at Birla Institute of Technology, Ranchi, Mesra, and I started my career from there. From there, I came back to PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore. Again, I had a very good, rapport or the binding with Dr. Kalam because Dr. Kalam sir was the visiting professor at PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore. NEMS and MEMS were the very great nanotechnology or very known those kind of days. It was very famous day. And I used to attend his classes. I become one of the the favorite for his class, even though I was lecturer those time. Then I completed in that particular PhD only my the MTech in computer. I was very fond of programming. Whatever you talk about today, Java, Kava, Mava, any programming I can surely do on that. I'm very passionate about the programming. As Mr. Abhishek told my student over the world, wherever, whichever country I go, they're all very topmost, the position in the any company you name, I have my student over there. That's how I'm a passionate teacher. Having said all this work, I used to take 3 to 4 subjects in PhD because PhD used to have sandwich classes in the evening. So I used to have 2 subjects in the evening. I used to have daytime 2 subjects also, plus lab also. So Kalam sir used to come and visit us now. So I impressed him more. I saw his, the kind of credibility, the kind of respect, the kind of down to earth, the way he used to talk to us. Even though that time, 96, he was already a Bharat Ratna, but he never ever shown those kind of things. He used to sit with us. He used to have curd rice with us. I still remember. So that kind of personality I never found in my life. So he has become my role model. That day, I decided when I was having my PhD enrollment, I decided I have to be like Kalam sir. But unfortunate or fortunate, somehow I end up with something because I wanted to become a scientist. I got the Young Scientist Award from EST, the Department of Science and Technology. It's called as a Boys Cast Award. I got 10 lakh rupees those days. I got some Government of Tamil Nadu SINT Science and Technology Award. I got Faculty Award from PhD. And somehow it has done. 2006, when I completed my PhD, I thought now, I don't know whether I'm going to be, I got 2-3 company also like Cisco and all, but somehow the kind of academic respect I was unable to get. So because I had a very good, the friends from industry because PhD happens to be a very branded institution. So I used to have the alumni number very high level and they used to talk to me so nicely. So that was a great thing. But one of my guide, my own guide, he's still available. He is now 84, 85 years old, Dr. S.N. Sivanandam, who guided me the PhD. He told Dr. Pujeri, better, no, he never used to say doctor, but he used to say, Pujeri, you are best for the teacher. You only go for the teaching line and do the research while doing the teaching. And you are a good administrator. After some time, you be the administrator. He just blessed me that way. So having his word, even I got good package, good thing, I never ever left my job. So I got assistant professor, associate professor, and professor, and I become vice principal, I become principal. It was 2014. I came to Pune. I was somebody misguided me. I cannot say misguided, but somehow they told me Sinhagad is the best one. And my uncle happens to be a good friend of Navle sir. So I joined Sinhagad for about 6 months. 22nd of July 2014, my wife and myself, my son just came to Pune from the Lonavala. We were staying for about that 6 months. I just came to Bapu sir's office. I just met with my family. I mean, my wife. At that time, my wife was MTech in IT. She was not doctorate. She was also diploma, B, MTech, today PhD, and she's completing her PDF today. So we met. We had discussion about just 10 minutes. Hopefully, Rahul Mori sir might also be there. I don't know. I still remember. So sir told, no, doctor, you are selected. You can be there and you can join anytime. That was the the historical thing to ensure myself to be MIT. Then 22nd July, I still remember I got an opportunity from here, but we joined October last week to MIT. Sir gave me the position of director and then worked very hard. My passion was to ensure all the employees who are working under me are the students supposed to be very, 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 very happy. And I loved by the student all the time. That's the reason, hopefully, I started my career with a dean position in PhD. Also, they gave me dean student affairs at WP campus. So I was the executive dean of student affairs. Again, when I came to MIT ADT, I was thinking, sir will give me something, but again, he gave me the dean student affairs. And I'm passionate about the research, completed, guided around 12, the PhD student. Today, I'm very credible. Most of them are from industry and profession as well. Also completed almost 20 plus CR projects from PhD to till the research project, funding project. One of the best project was guided by Dr. Kalam, which was under the PURA, that is provide the urban facility to the rural areas. What we have done is in Tamil Nadu, it is still running that particular project. Provide the desalination of seawater, the project name. Provide the seashore people the potable water. What was his aim was that there are so many, it is a district called Ramanathapuram. You might be knowing Rameswaram comes under that now, but they made Rameswaram as a district. When this Rameswaram, where Dr. Kalam sir has buried there now, his body has been buried there. So he just told, I want the project, this one. What is that? 16 villages you have to provide every day. How much liter water they want, but take the the sea water and change, so they convert that as a potable water and provide. Believe it or not, 160,000 liters of water still our the project is providing to those 16 villages without 0 paise. We have made that project which about worth of 17 crore. Only 4 people. My job is to ensure the total computerization of that particular plant from daytime solar energy, nighttime biomass. Still it is running. The names are there, including my name. Under that, we completed 7 important patents. Our project, our research project was published in one of the important journal at MIT Boston. I got, because of that, many good things on that. So that was a proud moment for all of us. The first person to drink that water was Dr. Kalam, believe it or not. It was a Department of Science and Technology sponsored project. So it was a very great moment. Kalam sir used to call me by name. He never used to call me with Dr. Pujeri and all. He used to call me Ramu this way. When Kalam sir left me, I was literally down for about nearly 1 week because I used to talk to him. He left, I hope, 27 July. I think we had a dinner with him at Chennai University campus, 22nd July. So that was the way we used to connect together. And somehow the journey started, and I'm doing really very happy. The same, I got a person who was very, very, very friendly and brotherhood. That is none other than Dr. Ramchandra sir. Because of him, I never ever saw back this, that, whether I'm getting a good job, whether I'm getting good money, nothing doing. I just told myself, till I'm retired, till I'm okay with my health, I have to be with only Dr. Ramchandra. Whether sir is giving the position or base, I never bother. He's there with me. I'm there with him. That is more than enough. The kind of person, the way he is, the way he take care of us, the way he talk with me, especially me. I never find anybody in my life other than my parents and brothers and sisters. So such a great human being. So believe it or not, always I tell, belief which begins the journey will also define the journey. So I always have a siddhant in my life. Work is worship. Never trouble anybody. If you are able to help, help. Otherwise, at least don't trouble others. Be happy, be honest, be sincere. That was my mantra in my life. I think I'm doing that. I blessed by only son who is Omkar, Master Omkar, who is now doing 11th standard. He also stood very good mark. My wife, Dr Ramachandra Pujeri, you know, she is working as associate professor at WP campus. And today, I'm proud that in my own family, 13 engineers are available who are working. All my brothers, sisters, kids working in a very reputed companies, and they're all BE, MTech and all, and 5 PhD holders in my house. And today, I'm proud that more than 150 acres land we are able to say, and the family is notable in the whole Taluka place. That was only because of discipline, the culture of excellence in my family, because of my dad. And I lost my dad, and my mom is with me. And thanks to all of you, I was just telling about. I'm really excited about my story. I started, my guru, that Mahadev, when I told you people, he used to tell Pujari, you must have village to Delhi. Your journey must be village to Delhi. Keep in mind and help the people whatever is possible. I think I help the people really so lot. My village is today master village. If you ask in any of the house in my village, at least 2 minimum, what you call the service-oriented people are there. They are highly qualified. And I go to my village, believe it or not, you can, if you want, you can meet my driver also. You can talk, you can ask him, sir, what kind of value you have. That is only because of all of people, all elders. I respect elders. Here again, most important thing is I treated the Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir is like my father. Wherever I feel, I go to him, I talk to him. This kind of environment I never found in my life. I worked in the many places. Another important, if you look into my spirituality life, minimum 5 times I went to all the 12 Jyotirlingam, 12 Jyotirlingam in this country. And Manas Sarovar is also there, hopefully you all know. And Nepal is another Kathmandu group. Always I am going to the temple, talking to the God, telling him, not only keeping me best, keep my entire world and entire village, entire country, entire these people. This is how I prayed. That proven thing is that not a single day I have taken leave during the so-called second wave of COVID, but God has not touched that particular COVID to me. I was healthy and very safe and going to every day, talking to everybody, help the people, but never got any issue. That was the great thing. That is only because of the blessing, and that is only because if you do good things on that. Thank you so much, all of you. You have given me a lot of time. You excited me very badly. My story really very bad, I hope so. But that was inspired me to ensure the better thing of my life. I think I reached to this level only because of those kind of things. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, Wonderwal.
Thank you so much, sir. It was so inspiring. I still have goosebumps. I can still feel that. We all felt what you felt, and it was like we don't have words to express. Still, it was really very, very inspiring, very positive, and we learn so much from this. I'm just speechless now. I'm just speechless. It was amazing listening to you, sir. Abhishek, please go ahead.
It was really an inspiring story. I have to commend his storytelling ability, because I could really visualize how he went from a poor family to what he is now. That's really commendable, ma'am. And I have to say, sir, that your story is so inspiring. It has inspired a lot of students, thousands of students, sir. And really, exactly, speechless. And I must say, sir, that the 15 years of puja that you...
I have my guru, Dr. Sri Jagan Sethi. If you give 2 minutes, he has joined from Bagalkot. He was my guru. If you give 2 minutes, he may talk.
Sure, sure, sir. Yeah,
Dr.
sure.
Are you there?
I'm very thankful to you, sir. I was in fact looking for joining and attending this particular. Yeah. Then I remember Dr. Pujeri right from the year 1994 onwards, and he also knows me very well as his faculty. I have seen his journey very closely from engineering college, a North Karnataka remote engineering college, to Coimbatore and now in Pune. And the way he works meticulously and the way he takes people along with him is commendable. And in fact, after I came from IIT Kharagpur, I learned about him, and then I was so happy. And he continues to associate with us, remembers us. That's the greatness of any individual who remembers teachers. And in the same way, he continues to extend his respect. That is so nice of him. Personally, I know him. He doesn't have any ego. Ego is one thing which really brings people down, but that is one which is not at all anywhere near him around. Both of them, husband, wife, work together. And as a teacher, now that teacher thing is over. Now he's a colleague and better performing or a great man, I can say. My good wishes are always with Dr. Pujeri, that he continues to do well, because as teachers, when we see our students growing to bigger heights, what else we require? That is the satisfaction for all of us. So I once again, sir, Pujari sir, our good wishes are always with you, and we continue to look forward for a greater heights of your career, and we wish your family and your institution all the best. Anytime you need any assistance from us, we are always there to help you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for identifying me amongst so many people here on this particular day. And I'm really lucky that we have such wonderful people around us. Thank you, sir. And the organizers, I thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Well, guys, the floor is open for questions. So if you want to ask any questions to sir, he's right here.
If no one else, I would like to go first.
Yeah, sure.
Miss, am I audible clearly? Because I have, yes.
Yes,
so,
you are.
First off, it was such an inspiring session. I think inspiring is not even the word to use. It was almost like the best way I could possibly start my Saturday. A work Saturday. It was like I personally am so boosted up and like, ready to work and take on my life. So thank you so much. It was a very needed session. As for my question, you talked about so many hardships in your life. You talked about so many things. How do you get over like any obstacle that is going to come? So if there's an obstacle that I know for sure that if I start this career, I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have a lot to show, but that is a roadblock. But I want to start it because that's something I personally like. But so if you know that there's a roadblock coming, how do you basically get over the roadblock?
Thank you so much, Tanmay. I only had self-confidence. I only used to pray the Lord. I only used to pray. I asked my parents and the other elders to bless me more than that is more than enough. And I used to go ahead, and believe it or not, I used to get success. Wherever, as you said rightly, how many obstacles I can't even go back to any of those. Believe it or not, I just given one small incident. I just went. I was just going one of the place. There was it was a big river. I was going nearby that. I asked to pluck the flowers for the temple. So it was not in my village. That time it was a heavy rain. So I went to another village to pluck the flower. I was just going there. I saw a snake. but I never bother. Otherwise I get abused by some people, or my dad will get abused. So somehow I have to get the flower for God as well as for them as. So I went there. The snake was not moving. So what to do now? Because the flowers were there only. So I just waited. Only 2 minutes. I just pray the Lord. I close my eyes and I pray the Lord, saying that I have to get this thing. I'm going to be late for my school. Please allow me to pluck the flower. I just prayed. This is a realistic practical example. Then I started plucking the flower. I suddenly saw a person who was going inside the water. You understand what I'm saying? Somehow he fall into the water and he was going. What to do? I was not so great swimmer, but somehow I wanted to bring him to the shore. So what to do? There was a heavy water. It was a heavy rain. What to do? So I saw that person. Somehow again I pray the Lord. What to do? Moment I pray the Lord, when I saw the river, it was standing kind of. The river was flowing water, but literally I saw the river was standing. I went inside the water. I brought that person. This is a practically, I'm telling you people, I brought that person. I made him out of his water from the body. Then I was small that time. It may be about 10 years plus. So from there, he left to his house. I brought the flower. I gave to my mom. I told mom, this is what happened. But I have to be careful. Otherwise, snake that will bite you. She only told me that, nothing more than that. So you asked me, there were 2 obstacles at the same time which happened, but I had a self-confidence and I pray the Lord and I always ask the Lord to give me the blessings only for this. And I safeguarded the life and I made myself also safeguarded from the poison. You see, so this is where, if you have where there is a will, there is a way. This is how. So if you look into the Kalam sir story, nothing. We are at least okay. What was the story of Kalam sir if you looked into that? So that's how we have to ensure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else with questions for sir?
I guess our audience is equally speechless because it was really very inspiring and very positive story to learn from. And we keep on, there are small things and we feel that they are bigger, they are huge problems. And the problems that sir has gone through and he has faced and he has overcome those obstacles. It was really very, very inspiring, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Thank you so much. We are grateful to you. So, Abhishek, yes, we will take it forward.
Yeah, sure. I just have one question because you have interacted with Kalam sir and it's such a great honor. Could you just tell us how he was, how did he interact with you personally, on a personal basis?
Okay, thank you so much. Again, you make me too excited because I love Kalam like anything. Recently, when I went to Madurai last year, I think I went to his Samadhi and I pray the Lord. Kalam like people has to come again to this country and help this country. Okay, so I will tell you only one small incident with Kalam sir. I want to just talk to you. Tell everybody about that. It was the day 2012. Kalam sir would like to meet his school teacher. Believe it or not, Pratibha, God grace, Kalam sir has left, but his school teacher still is there, 101 years, 102 now. His name is Subramaniam. He is still available at Coimbatore. I don't know, I have not taken update of for this year, but last year takto sir was there. Actually, sir would like to go to Subramaniam house. Now, this is not after the president position or after this, earlier to the president position. I'm sorry to tell 2010, 2012, it was 2003 or 2 somewhere. I'm not able to recall that date. Kalam sir came to PhD and we had that nanotechnology class got over and sir was literally okay, but he was not that well. He was down with a fever. So he just told his PA, Rajendra Prasad was his PA, who happens to be the professor at Anna University today. So he told, can you just take me to the hospital? His best friend was Dr. Bhakta Vatsalam, who is Padma Shri awardee, who was a great cardiac surgeon. So he happens to be out of country. Then Kalam sir was a very different human. If he believe person, he believe. Otherwise, he never even go to the doctor. He just told me, Ramu, just go to the. We used to talk in Tamil whenever personal. I am a very good fluent in Tamil language. This thing also. I do talk 12 languages totally. Okay. So just I went to him and just I went, sir. Can I take you to the hospital? He was in the guest house. He told no problem. Take me if you want. If you want me to come with you, you take me to Subramaniam sir house. Believe it or not, we went to Subramaniam sir house. I just gave him one paracetamol. That's all. He told he was literally having fever. I saw. Then we went together, Prasad and myself. Kalam sir vehicle was only ambassador car. No other car he used to like. We went there. After going there, I just told Subramaniam sir, son. Sir is not well, he is having fever. Immediately, somehow Subramaniam sir comes to know that, listen to this thing. He went inside and he brought some vanaspati I don't know, something he brought, he gave to Kalam sir. Immediately Kalam sir was alright. Sir was telling that to me, Ramu, in life, believe these kind of things. Don't believe those allopathic. He gave me at least 10 minutes of lecture to me. Why I am saying that? Belief, I told you, belief which begins a journey will also defines a journey. He never ever think of this. If you believe the person, you believe. If you won't believe, that's it. He never ever even talks to him. So such a great kind of the moments. There are thousands of moments. I went with him Sriharikota. Whenever Kalam sir used to have some best programs, we used to go to Chennai because his guest house was Chennai, Anna University guest house. Government of India gave him Ramanuja Computer Center. Still it is called as a RCC building where Kalam sir office used to be there. Whenever some program, whenever some prize, we used to go to Kalam sir. Kalam sir was a great Veena Vadanam. Maybe Pratibha might be knowing about. Subbalakshmi happens to be his role model for those kind of things. After having 8 o'clock, after 8 p.m. in the guest house, he used to wear lungi and he used to have one shirt, dhoti and other thing. Then he used to start Veena Vadanam. He used to use bhajan. Bhajan he used to do. So that bhajan was my thing. So that's how I attached to him. It was whenever I'm in personal, I never ever spoke with him about the technical. He even never liked us.
Lakshmi ma'am wants to say something.
Yes,
good morning, sir. To add to what ma'am said, I just wanted to say that though we have all comfort, we lose hope if a very small incidents happen to us. So thank you, sir, for sharing your journey. And though we have not personally interacted with Kalam sir, but it is equal that we met you, we spoke to you, we heard your journey. So
15 years.
So thank you for sharing your journey, sir. And one best part, like you might be good in technical, you have got, but one word you said, like we all love our parents, sir, but one word you said about your father, he called him a Satpurusha. That one word will define you, sir. So I'm really, really blessed being a student also. And thank you for sharing, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for gracing this occasion. I really want to say that the 15 years that you, in the childhood that you went into doing puja, so it really, I think it really paid off that Lord actually blessed you.
It was 15 years.
Yes, sir.
Hanuman, I used to do Hanuman puja, my God. And because of Kalam sir happens to be the president, I used to visit to that Delhi. I used to stay with some Rashtrapati Bhavan, some room and all. At least because of him, we have seen the Rashtrapati Bhavan at least 4 to 5 times. That was a great thing in my life.
It's really great, sir. I would like to, we have to wrap up the session. So I would really love Tanmay to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Over to you, Tanmay.
Thank you so much, Abhishek.